First there was Chloe and Danny, and now there's Eve Brown. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Books with Kimberly. Don't forget to like, comment, share my channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. Today I am so excited to give my book review on At Your Age, Eve Brown. This is the third book in the series by Talia Hibbert. I've already given my reviews on Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown. You can find that video on my channel where I gave a review. And so I have been highly anticipating At Your Age, Eve Brown. If you remember in the past, I said I was most excited to read this book because I could just tell from the snippets of Eve that I got in the other two books that she was going to be a hot mess and I was going to love every second and everything about her. So let's get into it. Eve Brown is the youngest sister. She is the third sister of the Brown sisters. She's 26. Like her other sister, she's plus size, curvy, brown skin, gorgeous. I love how Talia Hibbert is thinking outside of the box when it comes to the typical main character of her novels. Y'all know I love my plus size representation, and Eve was bringing all the curves, lusciousness. She lives in color. She has waist length box braids that are purple. She loves to wear colorful lipstick and graphic t-shirts and Chuck Taylor. She's my kind of girl. So this story starts off where Eve Brown has quit yet another job, which is a pattern of hers that she has. What we find out in this book is that Eve has a fear of failure, and so at the beginning of the book she has quit yet another career. She was a wedding planner and the wedding did not go off as seamless as she wanted it to, so she quit, and her parents were not having it. They are tired of her quitting and changing careers like it's nothing, and they tell her she is cut off from her monthly trust fund and that she has to move out in a matter of months. Eve is very upset about this, and she gets in her car and drives to Skybriar, which is another county, and she ends up at a bed and breakfast. She's going there to get food, but she sees that they are hiring a chef. And Eve likes to cook, so she decides, you know what, I'm going to try this out and see if I can interview and get this job, because her parents are requiring her to have a job and hold that job for an entire year in order for her trust fund to start back up. This seems like the perfect idea for Eve. She goes in and meets Jacob Wayne. Y'all, Jacob Wayne is so funny. He's grumpy, very anal. He's like no nonsense. He's very like, what is your CV, your resume? Do you have experience? He's very snarky, but from the beginning you can tell that he's very attractive to Eve and Eve is attracted to him. I'm not going to spoil too much, but Eve does nail it and she ends up getting this job in a very crazy but very much Eve so manner. And y'all, this book was so cute. The two of them from the start, her bubbly personality, loving music, dancing to the beat of her own drum, and then his just very uptight nature. I knew that the two of them, even though they seem like direct opposites, I knew the two of them would have like the cutest relationship. And it's because throughout the chapters of this book, Talia really went into depth about these characters and a lot of their flaws. Eve deals with the fear of failure. She's afraid to commit to things because she fears she's going to fail again. And after a while, I mean, you get tired of always feeling like you fail and you don't succeed at anything. And so it gets to the point where she's tired of even trying. And so she's battling with that. And then Jacob has his own things that he's dealing with. He is on the autism spectrum, which he proudly says, I'm autistic. He lets people know. And so that has its own obstacles. And, you know, he's dealing with issues from his upbringing and this fear of people leaving him. He has abandonment issues that he's dealing with. So you can already tell abandonment issues. And then here comes Eve with her flightiness. you kind of see where that could be an issue, but you also see where the two of them could really comfort each other. And I love their relationship, y'all, because even before we really got them as a couple, we got them as employer and employee, and then them trying to be friends. And throughout the transition of their relationships, we see Eve really getting to his soft side, and we see him really affecting Eve in such a positive way. She has such negative doubts about herself, and I love how Jacob comes in and he's like, no, you're brilliant. No, you're not a failure. If that didn't work, it's because it wasn't meant to be. He's very straightforward and sees things black and white, and that helps because, you know, it helps douse all of those doubtful feelings that Eve has about herself. And here she is giving him the comfort and understanding and bubbliness that smooths all of his hard edges. Y'all, this book was such a treat. Eve and Jacob were definitely my favorite couple. I will admit though, when it came to rating this book, I was a little bit on the fence. I love both characters. I thought that I love a snarky character, so Jacob won me over, and then Eve with all her bubbliness, that definitely won me over as well. Eve also is a huge fan of music, so the entire book she was dropping all the songs that she was listening to, and I was going on YouTube and looking them up. She dropped the Masego song, some Janelle Monáe, some Adele. Then there was this Corinne Bailey Rae song called Breathless that was like the ending song, and oh my God, I had never heard that song before, but it's so beautiful. So I love the music, I love the characters. But what has me wondering if I'm going to give this book a 4 or a 5 is that this book, all of it is within 2 weeks. And so I think because of it being only 2 weeks, there wasn't a lot of events happening. And so it kind of felt like it was dragging. Like a lot of this book felt like it was dragging, but the end was just so sweet and perfect that I'm really going to give this book a 5, because I think a part of my critique of this book dragging also has to do with me being a little impatient. You know, I'm trying to juggle multiple books so I can get my reading goal this month. And so I'm a little bit impatient, like hurry up, get to the point, get to the relationship, get to the love, okay, get to what's gonna happen. So I can admit that I have a little bit of impatience on my side, but I definitely do feel like, you know, some of the scenes were a little bit redundant, and, you know, everything was explained so thoroughly when sometimes I'm like, okay, girl, you know, you don't have to explain how he felt seeing her flip her hair over her shoulder. Like, I already know he won't, sis. Like, I mean, did you have to? But that could just be me being impatient. So I'm definitely giving this book 5 stars. And I will say that I can't say it's my favorite one. I was anticipating it being my favorite one, but this is definitely my favorite couple. I want to reread the other two to be for sure about that, but I think this may be my favorite couple. It's definitely my favorite ending. And y'all, I just really love this book, so that's why I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Even though I had that one little critique about it, I'm still giving it 5 stars, and I recommend that all of you read it. So y'all, if y'all have read it, get down in those comments and let me know what you think. If you've read any of the Brown sisters in this 3-book series, let me know what you thought. Thanks again for tuning into another Books with Kimberly video.